My name is Jenna. I am 24 years old. I live in a small town near the mountains. My family is big. We have many aunts, uncles, and cousins. But I don't see all of them often. Some live far away. Some moved to other cities. Life separates families sometimes. I have a cousin named Ethan. I remember him from when we were children. He was shy and quiet. He had dark hair and big brown eyes. We played together at family parties. We built things with blocks. We laughed a lot. But then his family moved away. His mother, my Aunt Isadora, got a new job in another state. Ethan was only 14. I was 12. We said goodbye. We promised to stay in touch, but we didn't. Life got busy. We forgot. 12 years passed. I didn't see Ethan again. I didn't think about him much. Sometimes my mother talked about Aunt Isadora. She said they were doing well. She said Ethan was working now. He was an engineer. I felt happy for him, but I didn't ask more questions. He was just a memory. A name from my childhood. Then everything changed. My grandmother turned 80 years old. My mother decided to make a big party. She invited everyone, all the aunts, all the uncles, all the cousins. She said it was time to bring the family together again. She worked for weeks. She cleaned the house. She cooked so much food. She called everyone on the phone. She was so excited. I helped her. I made decorations. I bought flowers. I set the tables. I felt nervous. I don't like big crowds. I don't like making small talk with relatives I barely know. But I wanted to make my mother happy. Family is important to her. So I smiled. I said yes to everything. The day of the party arrived. It was a Saturday in June. The weather was beautiful. Warm sun, blue sky, birds singing in the trees. People started arriving at noon. First came my Uncle Tom and his wife, then my cousin Lisa with her 3 children, then more people, more faces, more voices. The house filled with noise and laughter. I stood in the kitchen helping my mother. I carried plates. I poured drinks. I said hello to everyone. Then I heard my mother scream with joy. I looked up. Aunt Isadora walked through the door. She looked older but still beautiful. She hugged my mother. They both cried happy tears. Then someone else walked in behind her. A tall man, strong shoulders, dark hair, confident smile. I didn't recognize him at first. My mother ran to him. She hugged him tight. She said, "Ethan, look at you. You're so grown up." My heart stopped. That was Ethan, my shy cousin? I couldn't believe it. He looked so different, so handsome, so mature. I felt my face get hot. I looked away. I felt nervous. Why was I nervous? He was just my cousin. Ethan came into the kitchen. He saw me. He smiled big. He said, "Jenna? Is that really you?" His voice was deep, warm, kind. I smiled back. I said, "Yes. Hi, Ethan. It's been a long time." He hugged me. A friendly hug. But I felt my heart beat faster. I felt confused. This is wrong, I thought. He's my cousin. Stop feeling this way. We sat together during dinner. The whole family was there. 25 people around the tables. Everyone talked and laughed. Ethan sat next to me. We talked about everything. Our jobs, our lives, our dreams. He told me about his work. He designed buildings. He traveled a lot. He loved his job. I told him about my work. I was a teacher. I loved children. I loved helping them learn. Hours passed. We didn't stop talking. He made me laugh. He listened to me. Really listened. He looked into my eyes when I spoke. I felt seen. I felt understood. I touched his arm when I laughed. He touched my hand when he told a story. It felt natural. It felt right. But somewhere in my mind, a small voice said, "This is dangerous." After dinner, people moved to the living room. Some went to the garden. Ethan asked me, "Do you want to walk outside?" "I need some air," I said yes. We walked into the garden. The sun was setting. The sky was pink and orange. Beautiful colors. We walked slowly. We didn't talk at first, just walked, side by side. Then Ethan stopped. He looked at me. He said, "Jenna, I have to tell you something." I felt my stomach drop. I said, "What?" He took a breath. He said, "You're beautiful. You're smart. You're funny. I really enjoyed today. Talking to you. Being with you. I didn't know what to say. I felt happy. So happy, but also scared." I said, "I enjoyed it too, Ethan. I really did." He smiled. He said, "Can I have your phone number? Maybe we can talk more. Meet again." I hesitated. Just for a second. Then I said, "Yes, of course." We exchanged numbers. We walked back to the house. Everyone was saying goodbye, hugging, promising to meet again soon. Aunt Isadora hugged me. She said, "Take care, Jenna. You grew up so beautiful." I smiled. I felt guilty. Like I was hiding something. But what was I hiding? We just talked. We just became friends again. Nothing happened. Nothing wrong. That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought about Ethan, his smile, his voice, his eyes. I felt something in my chest. Something warm. Something dangerous. I told myself, "Stop it, Jenna. He's your cousin. This is wrong." But my heart didn't listen. The next day, Ethan texted me. He said, "Good morning. I can't stop thinking about yesterday. It was really nice seeing you again." I smiled at my phone. I texted back, "Me too." It was a good day, and that's how it started. We texted every day. Good morning, good night, how was your day? What are you doing? Small things, sweet things. Then we started meeting. First coffee. Just coffee. We talked for 2 hours, then dinner. We laughed so much. Then walks in the park. Holding hands. It felt so natural, so right. But I knew it was wrong. I knew society said this was wrong. I knew my family would never understand. One evening, we sat on a bench. The sun was going down. Ethan looked at me. He said, "Jenna, I have to be honest. I have feelings for you. Real feelings, not cousin feelings. I think I'm falling in love with you." I felt tears in my eyes. I said, "Ethan, I feel the same way, but we can't. You know we can't. You're my cousin." He said, distant cousin. We barely grew up together. Does it really matter? I said, yes. It matters. To the world. To our family. But then he kissed me, soft, gentle, and I kissed him back. I felt my whole body light up. I felt alive. I felt happy, but when we stopped, I felt shame, deep shame. I pulled away. I said, I have to go. He said, Jenna, wait. But I ran. I got in my car. I drove home. I cried the whole way. I couldn't handle it alone. I called my best friend, Maria. I told her everything. She was silent for a long time. Then she said, Jenna, this is serious. This is taboo. This is wrong. You need to stop, I said. But I love him, Maria. I really do. She said, love has boundaries. Family has rules. You can't do this. Think about your mother. Think about Aunt Isadora. This will destroy them. Her words hurt. But I knew she was right. I stopped answering Ethan's messages. I ignored his calls. I blocked him on social media. I tried to forget. But it hurt so much. Every day hurt. I felt empty, broken, lost. 1 week later, Ethan came to my house. He knocked on my door. I opened it. He looked tired, sad. He said, Jenna, please talk to me. What happened? Why did you disappear? I said, Ethan, we can't do this. It's wrong. I can't hurt my family, he said. But what about us? What about our feelings? I started crying. I said, our feelings don't matter. Not if they destroy everything. He looked at me for a long time. Then he said, I love you, Jenna. I really do. I don't care what people think. I don't care about rules. I care about you. I wanted to run into his arms. I wanted to say yes. But I didn't. I said, I'm sorry, Ethan. I can't. He nodded slowly. His eyes were wet. He said, okay, I understand. Then he walked away. I closed the door. I fell to the floor. I cried until I had no tears left. Days passed. I felt like a ghost. I went to work. I came home. I ate. I slept. But I felt nothing. My mother noticed. She asked me what was wrong. I said I was just tired. She didn't believe me. But she didn't push. Then one afternoon, my phone rang. It was my mother. Her voice was serious. She said, Jenna, come home now. We need to talk. My heart stopped. I knew. Somehow I knew. I drove home. My mother was sitting at the kitchen table. Her face was hard, angry. She said, Aunt Isadora called me today. She told me something about you and Ethan. I felt my whole body go cold. I said nothing. My mother continued. She said Ethan told her everything. He told her he has feelings for you, romantic feelings. She's very upset. She asked me if it's true. I couldn't lie. I said quietly, it's true. My mother's face changed. Shock, anger, disappointment. She said, how could you, Jenna? He's your cousin. This is disgusting. This is wrong. I started crying. I said, I didn't plan it, Mom. It just happened. I love him. She stood up. She shouted, love? This isn't love. This is confusion. This is a mistake. You are ruining this family. I shouted back. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want to feel this way, but I do. And it's real, she said. Real or not, it ends now. You will not see him again. You will not talk to him. Do you understand? I said, you can't control me. I'm an adult, she said. Then act like one. Respect your family. Respect yourself. We stared at each other, both crying, both angry, both hurt. Then I said quietly, I need to think. I left the house. I drove to the lake. I sat on the rocks. I watched the water. I prayed. I cried. I thought about everything. My family. My mother, Aunt Isadora. Ethan. Myself. What did I really want? What was right? What was wrong? I stayed at the lake until the sun went down. Then I knew. I knew what I had to do. It hurt. It hurt so much. But it was the right thing. I drove home. I called Ethan. He answered immediately. He said, Jenna? I said, Ethan, we need to talk. He said, okay, I'm listening. I took a deep breath. I said, I love you. I really do. I believe my feelings are real, but I can't do this. I can't break my family apart. I can't live with the shame. I can't handle the whispers and the judgment. And I don't want to hurt Aunt Isadora or my mother. They love us. They raised us. We owe them respect. Ethan was quiet. Then he said, so this is goodbye? I said, yes, I think it has to be. He said, I understand. I don't agree, but I understand. I love you, Jenna. I always will. I said, I love you too. But sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes we have to choose what's right over what we want. We said goodbye. I hung up the phone. I cried again. But this time, the tears felt different, lighter, like I was letting go of something heavy, something that was crushing me. Weeks passed. Then months. The pain got smaller, not gone, but smaller. I focused on my work. I spent time with friends. I read books. I took long walks. I learned to be okay with being alone. I learned that heartbreak doesn't kill you. It just teaches you. One day, my mother told me Aunt Isadora called. She said Ethan was dating someone new, a woman from his work. My heart hurt a little. But I also felt relief. He was moving on. That was good. That was healthy. I realized something important. I realized that some feelings must be left behind. Some doors must stay closed, not because the feelings aren't real, but because opening those doors destroys too much. Love is important, but so is respect, so is family, so is peace. I learned that real love has boundaries. Real love thinks about consequences. Real love protects the people around you, not just yourself. I loved Ethan. Maybe I always will. But I love my family more. I love my peace more. I love my integrity more. Now I'm okay. I'm healing. I'm learning. I'm growing. I know I made the right choice. It was the hardest choice, but it was the right one, and I'm proud of myself for that. If you liked this story, subscribe to the channel and see the next story to learn even more.